Hello guys, my name is Rizky from acreativealt, and in this video I just want to share a couple of cheap things that you can buy if you pursue photography or video productions. Earlier this year, I actually have a video whereby I highlighted what you need to buy if you're actually starting a photography career, and of course at that particular video I was actually recommending to buy an A6500. And in this video I just want to share some of the cheap things that I always find it beneficial to have whenever you are doing photography and video production projects. It doesn't have to be this particular brand, of course, but what I would recommend you to buy is actually to have a pouch that have a hook, or you can buy a hook separately like this, that you can actually hook it on your belt during the shoot. This is the pouch whereby I actually put a lot of my SD cards, spare batteries, and also a pen. I always bring a pen whenever we do a project. Time to time, client always pass me a paper. A client gave us an events breakdown on the paper. Sometimes they actually update the events breakdown right before the actual event itself. So what I have is not the most updated. So I can just use a pen to scribble on it and say we are doing an advertisement or short movie or a corporate videos. I always do storyboards, so I use the pen to basically take note. The size of this bag is actually something like this. Of course, you can decide to buy something bigger or smaller depending what you actually need. But I think this is a decent size whereby I can hook it on my belt without actually obstructing my movement. I don't really like to bring a big backpack. If you see me on site, if I'm the main photographer, I will simply sling two cameras. If my job is to be a video producer, I will actually only have this with me, and sometimes a tablet. The next thing that I would recommend to buy is actually something like this. Basically a Swiss Army knife. Simple foldable toolkit whereby you have your screwdriver, Allen key, scissors, and a knife. This actually happens on site. Like an example, sometimes the tripod that I'm using is actually getting loose, so I can easily tighten it with this tool. And sometimes whereby I need to do a simple cable tie and we need to cut it later on. Sometimes I need to tighten certain screws on the camera. There was a time whereby my SD cards is stuck in the camera. For some reason the spring inside the SD card slots is broken, so I cannot take it out. So I just simply use this to take out the SD cards from it. Next thing that I would recommend is of course to buy something like this, which is an SD card holder. And when I just started out, I always put my SD card inside my wallet, which is a really bad idea. And because the fact that if you just simply throw your SD cards into a pouch or a wallet or something, this part of SD card is the one that can get damaged really easily whenever they actually get being scrubbed to something, so it actually cause your SD cards unable to be detected by your computer or your camera. Get something like this whereby you can safely put all your SD cards inside. I always believe that we always need a backup of a backup of a backup. This is probably the most expensive thing that I wanna recommend today. Mini LED lights. It's pretty small and portable, whereby I can still slot this into the small bag that I mentioned earlier. So you can see it's still small enough that I can bring this around. This serves many purposes. One of it, of course, if you suddenly have a need of an additional light. We do a lot of roving things. We simply put a camera on a gimbal and one small LED light on top. And sometimes I just simply put this on the background just to give a bit of a detail. So, an example, let's say in my setup now I have 3 lights already, but I can just simply use this to enhance the logo at the background and give a little bit of detail at the background there. Because we do a lot of events video production, so sometimes we actually have simply put a camera on a gimbal and we do a walkthrough of a venue or something, and suddenly the clients ask us to record a quick interview, and we will not be able to do a quick light setup like what we always wanted to do. So by doing this, I can still put this on a subject's face and at least create a better quality video. A couple of events video that we do, and suddenly the client actually wants us to do a glam shots of the trophy that they have, and of course it will be too time consuming for us to set up dedicated product shots type of setup. So by doing this, we can actually do a quick product shots types of a setup easily. Another thing that I always bring during the video shoot is actually a cleaning gear, lens cleaning tool. There'll be times whereby suddenly I see that dirty patches, so I can just quickly clean up And lastly, I always like to recommend this magic arm. It's basically a clamp that is pretty small and portable, and you can actually just open it up, clamp to many objects, like even like a table, or sometimes I put it on a speaker stand or a light stand whatsoever. So sometimes on site I actually use this to mount a few things. One is of course backup audio. Sometimes I actually use this to mount a light. Sometimes use it as a small camera mini tripod, whereby you can use it to create a second angle. So that's all for today, and I hope this video is useful, and thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.